Like when you're getting to 5 and 6, you're in danger and you might be gone by then.
Urine danger.
No. Oh. I see what you did there, Ron. I see what you did there.
The sound that came out of you.
No. Oh. No. Oh.
Suck it, Ariana. I'll take your job. Welcome back to another episode of Recapitation. And why am I wailing? Why am I talking about Wicked when I'm not Meatball? It's because this episode we're getting into Dragula the musical. That's right. This prison experiment that we call life has gotten us to the point where we have Dragula the musical. And as I was rattling my brain to think about who would be a perfect guest, who is the premier thespian, lesbian with a body of fur and a heart of gold, I had to pick the one and only theater kid herself. It's Evah Destruction.
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Even that response was ready for the stage.
Yes, darling. Yes.
Just buttoned up, just polished, ready to go.
Contestant number 5, I'm Evah Destruction. Thank you very much.
Evah, how are you?
I'm great. Spooky month is coming to a close, and I can't be happier about it.
By the time this airs, it'll officially be over, and I hope that you are just bundled up in a sweater, making candles, or whatever it is you do.
I'll be shriveled, pickled, and hopefully laying in bed playing video games.
How are you liking the season so far? We're on season 666. All the way, I think it's been, this is the 3rd year since you were last seen on Titans.
Yeah, my has-been era is starting to kick in a little bit. The budget is getting bigger. The screws are being tightened a little bit, but I don't know. I think there are still some cracks that I can still see, but overall, it's been a fun ride.
I mean, the biggest crack is Asia, because I think we've seen her ass in every episode. And thank God.
Oh, I mean, crack doesn't kill sometimes, so I'll take it.
Sometimes crack saves. You are far beyond being in a has-been era. You are coming off a brand new tour with Banshee, where you hit. I was there for one of the 3 nights in New York, which is an achievement in and of itself in a city that is so saturated in drag. To do a 3-night stint, a tour into Salem, you're doing incredible. Do you have any other projects that are happening right now?
Right now, I'm actually trying to focus on local theater projects and stuff again. There's a musical coming up that I really want to go for, and I'm just waiting for those auditions to hit. But other than that, the gigs will come when they come, and I'll be ready to travel whenever. So
I knew I picked the right fucking person. I knew it. I knew that this would be a perfect fit. Speaking of musicals, the segue writes itself.
Yes.
Are you ready to get into this episode?
Oh, honey, I've been ready. Let's do it.
We're going to be nice. We're going to be gentle. We're going to be kind. I'm obsessed with the little intro skit that they do. I tune out. Like, I zone out for a second and I don't really hear what they're saying.
Right.
But I just can't stop staring at them in these tiny little throw chairs. On these itty bitty little upholstered chairs. Just...
Right, like Drakmorta's got her knees tucked in real tight because she's the taller one, but then Swan's kind of just like little Polly Pocket right there, just like like it's
Swan's Tinkerbell lounging on a leaf. We get through their oh my God, my speech impediment is yelling at me.
Take 2.
We get through their tiny chair concert, and we are entering the lab once more. But something is distinctly off, and they're entering in a weird order.
I was just like, okay, Like, we saw James kind of like shaking in their boots a little bit at the end of the last episode, and I was just kind of like, did she actually go through with it? Like, what's the tea here? Because I feel like they're playing with our minds right now with this like double pairing shit. I thought it was really calculated that they put Pi and Asia together just to really feed into this whole alliance like dialogue, which still is interesting to me.
Let's talk about the alliance, because my God, if I've learned one thing for certain, two things for true, it is the fact that if the Boulet Brothers production want you gone, if they think it is your time, you're gone. An alliance isn't going to save you. Asia consent isn't going to swoop down from the ceiling and scoop you up. I'm like,
Absolutely.
The alliance talk is crazy.
Yeah, not even a rhinestone pair of tap shoes can save you, girl. You are out.
And I'm so obsessed, and like Asia seems into it, but like half-heartedly. My good sister Pi is like full tilt Stanford prison experiment. Pi has lost their mind. Pi has gotten drunk with the reality TV show powers that be, because it's always alliances. Should we bring someone else in? How are we going to vote next time?
Like, we're not going to turn this into fucking Survivor. No, but low-key, though, I remember going up to, like, Yovska and Victoria, and I was like, I will never vote for you if you have my back. You know, like, I was very quick about it, but I was just like, God damn it, please don't let this be the precedence of this fucking competition. So to see this approach and this commitment to this bit, I'm just like, you have no power with this alliance. Like, you have none. The Boulets will always make sure they have all the power and control.
So ultimately, after they come in 2x2 and 3x3, the Noah's Ark of spooky drag, we realize that both Vivi and Gray Matter are both back in the room. So what the hell is going on? Let me tell you. My good sister Jayla, the producer, walks in, and you know if it's a producer, it's serious. They said Israel was on holiday. We need someone to deliver this news.
When I see Jayla, I light up. I'm like, oh, there's the queen right there, Miss Jayla. I love her. I live for the bullshit that she pulls sometimes. She's a shady girl, too. She's a shady lady. I love her.
Jayla comes in to deliver the news, which is how you kind of know it's serious, because you're like, who is this? What's happening?
Right.
And it is a letter from Majesty saying that to focus on their mental health, they are going to remove themselves from the competition. Aww. Meaning Vivi and Gray both get to stay.
Aww.
How do you feel about Majesty stepping out of the competition this way?
Well, I'm a firm believer in mental health being top priority in a lot of situations, cases, etc., etc. I think ultimately, I know it was a great thing to do for them because they entered the competition fully insecure from the get-go, unfortunately. And you, like, the minute they started talking, it was like the first few sentences, they were like, I just don't know. Like, and I'm just like, girl, why are you doubting yourself all of a sudden? Why are you intimidated? Like, what is this energy? This is so unlike you. Unfortunately, I think it just ate too much at their, at their psyche, if you will, because like it'll infect you from inside and out. So I think that ultimately, I think it was the right call. I just hate the way that it happened, to be honest.
I completely agree. It is a shame because I think Majesty was always one of my favorite TV personalities. One of the reasons I started doing drag in the first place, when way back when I was watching season 2, because there was something so raw and exciting and just unabashed about them. Mm-hmm. And I think that was missing this season, and it was noticeable. And I will say, now that they are officially out of the competition and I follow them on Instagram, just the way that they are acting, the way they're out in the world, the way I've seen them interact with their cast members, they just seem so much lighter, which tells me everything I need to know. They're making music, they're touring, they're going around and hanging out with people. I'm like, this was the right move. Remove yourself before you do something you regret on camera.
You know, meeting James post season 2 before, she's one of the loveliest people to chat with. She's so real. She'll help you if you need something. Like, she's very, very great to work with. But I just think that this experience just it didn't really give her the opportunity to show a lot of that, just from the reputation that she had.
Yeah. And God forbid I should ever go back and do anything related to drag and television again, because I will have also grown. I'm just going to get worse. I just want to be nasty. More horrid.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's the responsible way to go about it. Anyway, now we're getting into, they all huddle by the television and they announce the challenge, and it is, I cannot believe I'm saying this. I am still so shocked when I heard this challenge. I was like, you're making that up. I was watching it and I was like, you're still making that up. I finished the episode and I'm like, you're making that up. But it is Dragula the Musical, a parody written by the writer of Drag, the musical currently on Off-Broadway, Alaska Thunderfuck, which is so, at its core, it's so cool, and I think it's so interesting, and we will dive into where it goes off the rails. But when you heard it was going to be Dragula the Musical, did you have high hopes for this competition and this challenge?
No, I lost all hope. No, I mean, I one part of me was like, okay, all right, okay, like, let's see where this goes. It's Alaska. It's Dragula. We're trying new things, apparently. Fuck Monsters of Rock. But
we are going to get into the details and the nuances at each of the teams. Ultimately, the teams shake out to be Gray Matter, Auntie Heroine, Vivi the Force, and Yuri, versus Asia Consent, Pi, Jaharia, and Aurora. Which team do you think you would rather be on? Rat House or Snake Pit?
Oh, Rat House. Honestly, only for the theme. Only for like the theme of it, because I know that in my brain I'm like, okay, we're doing this. We're gonna be like we're like, I would want us to be all over that stage. It wouldn't be just 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be creature, like full,
like
throttle.
Crawl up from the corners.
Exactly. I want to see like this sort of like full rat mentality, because like the ones that were more believable as rats were Anti-Heroine and Gray Matter.
Okay, so while overall this episode was a little rough for me personally, I will say the editors threw their whole pussies into the choreography montage because it was like toddlers on a playground. It was very much giving, want to see what I can do? But it's
You
8
did good.
full-grown queer adults.
Yeah, no, it was just a very oh honey moment. Kind of watching it, I was like, somebody, like, how is this whole team made up of not a single person that has rhythm or dance experience? And it was interesting because like everybody who had more of that dance background, if you will, ended up all on one team, and then the other was kind of left to flounder up until they had to bring in Becca, their choreographer.
It's interesting to see how everyone is coping with having to sing, having to dance. Even people that are incredible performers like Anti-Heroine, who this musical, I expected this to be right up Anti-Heroine's alley.
Oh,
the
same.
first thing she said when she walked in to the show was, hello. I'm like, you are larger than life.
Very that.
You are theatrical. You are a drag queen's drag queen who also does really incredible horror drag. I'm like, you should have been skipping your toes and leaping from the ceilings, but it seems like she is struggling. What do you think the dissonance is here for anti-heroine specifically this episode?
I think so. Like, I am such an anti-heroine fan, first off, because I see her in that regard, because she's taking the darkness, mixing it with the glitz and the glam of pageant, but I see the references, I see how her brain works, and I think that this is unfortunately one of those cases where, girl, like, you haven't done, like, I don't know if you did musical theater or some type of performance, like, the dance classes clearly weren't signed up for, like, I think this just lacked a sense of resources to pull from.
Well, we are going to get into the performances.
Let's.
You want to hit that vape? You want to take a little stress off? Do you want to just
Let's do
We're gonna
it.
be okay. I think everything's
do
Up first is Rat House, and I'm going with a compliment sandwich here.
Well, they
Yuri
look good.
surprised me. They looked incredible.
Yeah.
The amount of work that went into, like Gray said that they made the nose prosthetics for everybody. I'm like, you look the part.
Yeah.
That was stunning.
Yeah.
Yuri opening surprised me. Like, I don't expect anyone to have the best voice. Like, that's I don't care about that. But really sold kind of like a ditzy Jessica Rabbit rat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was fierce. And then everything after that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. And like, it was like a car crash happening in slow motion. I was just like, no, why? Oh God. Because like we saw how, Vivi was behind on the counts and just completely way ahead of the track, and watching it happen on the stage, it was really painful to watch, unfortunately. And apparently, like, it looked like it kind of tripped up Auntie a little bit, because when it got to Auntie, Miss Thing forgot the words. I said, she doesn't know the words. I could not believe.
Yeah. See, now I am tone deaf, but at least I know I'm tone deaf.
Right.
I'm not going out for any singing roles.
And the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. So good on you.
It's like a fender bender. Like, okay, no, they can come back from that. But then a semi comes and hits it. Like, okay, well, there are some survivors. And then a freight train just plows through everything. And you're like, well, that's it.
And in these situations, too, as unfortunate as it was, it's literally just, well, this turd's going to be polished regardless. We're just got to work with what we got, So at least, like, at the end of the day, I was like, well, you look good. That's all I got. I'm sorry. I just had this replay in my brain of Auntie just going, it's like when Coco forgot her lines. It's like when Coco forgot her lines and she went full What? Okay, we're working with this. Keep it rolling.
And I will say, anti-heroine kept going. She did the rest of the number, the rest of the choreo.
Because regardless, even if she didn't know the words, she still picked up flawlessly, honestly. Like, she still was able to keep the beat going. Like, not one part of the beat Like, she forgot the lines in rhythm. It was kind of extraordinary. I was like, what the fuck? She just like, she missed this whole chunk and then she was able to finish it so strong, honestly. So I was like, good on you, girl. You did that.
And the last member of the team that I think also needs a shout out for the amount of work and how fucking cool this drag rat was is Gray Matter. And I think Gray and to a certain extent Auntie did, I think, the smartest thing. If you're given a musical, if you're given a song and you're not a singer, don't sing. Simply don't sing. And Gray was out there doing the number just as this little rat do da 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 da. And I'm like,
exactly.
Okay, yeah, do that because then it makes sense.
There's plenty of successful Broadway actors that sing. It's like, I mean, look at My Fair Lady, for instance. That man did not sing not one goddamn time, but he made you believe it by just this diction and, you know, like the execution. So like, yeah, if you're not a singer, then just lean into this sort of like vocalization by just like singing in a funny little accent or, you know, just having an emotion behind it or something. I don't know. And
up next is Snake Pit.
Snake
who
Pit.
They did sort of okay.
They did exceptional. You know what? They were the best of the two. They were the best of the two.
They certainly were.
Yes. This.
Okay, let's break this down because the exact words that I took down in my notes is Pie doing Cher having a seizure at a Kiss concert. And I, above all else, I have to respect the audacity. Pie was those people on American Idol that can't sing but think they can sing, and really just threw caution to the wind with these runs.
Yeah.
And it was so entertaining, even if it was grating to the ears.
And honestly, Pie had my favorite look out of all four of them, too. I was like, I buy this look.
Really?
I actually liked the look.
Aurora is such a stoic, put together, very cunty individual. There is something so adorable when Aurora is out of her comfort zone in this episode. Even when she was singing over any beat she wanted to, she was just she was so cute. And she really threw herself into it knowing, I'm not good at this, but I'm not going to just do nothing.
It's, to me, Aurora is one of those one of those great examples of deer in the headlights, but God, she's committed. And she's going to take that car head on. I also know that, like, a lot of these elements that Dragula makes her do, Dragula is making her do, press 1 for English, is very, like, throwing her for a loop. So I think she's definitely keeping up, but she's like, her head is slightly above water right now. And she's like, I hate this, but I'm doing it, Mom.
Okay. It's the scariest challenge Dragula has ever done.
Yeah.
Like I'm absolutely certain of that. And the one person besides Pie that I think did incredible, that I think all of her talking heads are magical.
Yes.
She is keeping this season trucking along on her back and her splits and her clown white. Jaharia was made for the stage. Was made to be an artist, made to be a performer.
Let it be known, I am obsessed with Jaharia. I love her and her drag. Like, her, like, I tweeted at her, like, I told her this in person. I was like, your talking heads are the life force of this season currently. Like, it's like, honestly, it's kind of like to me, like moments that I got like hanging out with like Kendra, like on Titan, because like just that quick wit and just like knowing how to like snap a joke or just have a funny little read and stuff, like to me it's very reminiscent of that, and I just get so much joy like with these like little moments, because Aurora has some zings too, and I gotta commend her too for holding her own in the talking head department, honey, because she'll let you have it. But Jaharia, just she's quick with it, and I just gives me what I want. It feels good in my mouth.
If Aurora was just treading water, bitch, this week Jaharia was riding a yacht.
Yeah.
Was sailing off into the sunset, because
Fully.
This challenge was made for her, and she was, even in both teams, she looked the most comfortable.
Yeah.
I think she was flying across the stage. She sounded good. Broadway? No. Local karaoke bar that I would give $1 to? Absolutely.
Maybe so. Maybe,
like with a touch of auto-tune, that would have been sickening.
Absolutely.
Just a
and
touch.
I could see, like, to me, and this is where I really disagree with this whole, like, excuse me, sorry, my Celsius came up.
Angina.
No, this is where I kind of like disagree with the whole like debate of who was the leader of this group. To me, Jaharia was leading this ship. I don't know where Pi thought she was leading this ship, but Jaharia had this from the get-go. And like, I'm like, as soon as the person is stepping in to help choreograph, I'm sorry, but they're the leader.
They're like, you might have choreographed us and you might have helped us with our steps and making sure we all looked good, but I made a list.
Right.
So
I had bullet points. I had italics, Times New Roman.
12-point font. Do your splits on Microsoft Word, Jaharia.
But no, like Jaharia, like definitely, I could tell from the get-go, like she was fully committed to seeing the success of this group.
I cringed a lot, but I watched it twice, and I have come full circle in realizing it is so funny because so much of it went so wrong. Mm-hmm. After seeing both the performances, who are your personal tops? Who were your favorites from the episode?
So I would have to say Gray Matter and Jaharia were my two of each team. And like, even though I loved Pi's look, like
one of my favorites is still, again, for the sheer audacity that Pi has. It's just, there's something so unabashed about the way that Pi threw themselves into this challenge, knowing that it's not the skill sets that they are probably known for or are super comfortable in.
Right.
But if I watch somebody having fun, it doesn't have to be incredible. I'm having fun too. And I think that's also the core.
Right. And to touch on that too, so regretfully, not saying this, sooner, but another great example of somebody who, like what you just said, Asia Consent is also another person to really watch the season, just for the fact that she's also approaching this competition with not only being fucking prepared as shit, but also like having more of a chill time.
I wrote down the worst vocals of the episode, but she is unquestionably a good time gal.
Yeah.
And I think with something like this, that you're like, no one was in their element this week.
No.
I think the winning team won because they let go. They let themselves just be loose and let whatever happened happen.
Yes. And I think this episode proves that this challenge was truly one of the greatest horrors that they could have committed upon the contestants. Something
that always stresses me out, and they did it to Jaharia this week. The Boulets are sitting there in the judging panel, and the guest judge, Alaska and Darren Stein, are sitting up there like, Jaharia, you killed it. You slayed it. You ate that.
You carried. You did that. You demolished. You made all these bitches look crazy. You're safe. I was like...
It's so shady, but it's, yeah. Not a great feeling. honestly. But I mean, you know, it's their mind. It's their endless stream of mind games that they play. They keep you on your toes.
But at the end of the day, Pie is the winner of Dragula, the Boozical, take one. And let me tell you, baby, that is history. The first and potentially only Dragula the musical winner. So, cheers to Pie. Do you think they made the right decision with the winner?
No. No, not
Okay,
at
me
all.
neither, but I love Pie.
I love Pie, but I
Love Pie.
just don't fully agree, honestly. Pie finally got a win, so that is to be congratulated,
Yes.
because wins in Dragula are tough. They fucking make you work for it.
Pie is the winner, and then they reveal that right that second, you will never know peace. You can go drink for a second because Snake Pit is going to go vote for who they think from the other team should be up for extermination. I love it. I love it. I love mess.
To me, I was eating my popcorn. I was like, this is finally some good food. Yes, keep this coming. You know, Jaharia right out the gate, like full survivor mode. I want to make a big move, girl. Let's get the two strongest ones out. And immediately I was glued to the screen. I was like, yes, do it. Do it, cowards. Put Auntie, put Gray up there. Make a big move, honey. Commit. Put two strong people up there, like, because that would have been such a fucking polarizing moment, even though they're so popular and loved and clearly talented and they're doing really successful on the show right now. It just would have been such a twist to just see that commitment to that. But
I feel like this is when you get to really see these very raw emotions. Jaharia comes in here, baby, I'm ready to make a big game move.
Yeah.
Aurora's a little drunk on the couch, just ooh. Pie is again doing the Stanford prison experiment, drunk with power. And Asia is just like,
yeah. Okay, girl. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Love
No,
you back.
Auntie's in, as long as it's Auntie.
Yeah. As long as it's Andy, girl.
No,
Okay.
it was. You do a good Asia consent.
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
Tell me if I need to get some grippy socks and a 72-hour hold, because by the end of their deliberation, they seem so hell-bent. It's anti-heroin and gray matter. We're sending home one of the strongest people in the competition.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened from the walk in the cauldron to the stage that just threw that out the window? Please explain to me.
So, while respecting my NDAs, of course, I will just say that it was either divine intervention that will be what they will be, because fan favorite season successes are doing well and we don't want to lose them just yet. So maybe we're just gonna change this decision. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, poke, poke.
Divine intervention, wink, wink, aside, there are so many reality show cliches, but this is my least favorite on any show. Anytime someone is like, well, we decided to put up the people that did the worst because when I win, I want to go against the best. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
I don't want to go against the best because we're competing for money. I want to go up against the worst. I want to go up against people I can beat. And the second I get an opportunity to get a gray matter, an Asia consent, an anti-heroin, even close to the bottom, even if all I do is fuck with their head a little bit, I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
It's so true.
I have no glory when money is involved. Glory is out the window. I'm done with that.
Honestly, I'm down to going back to reality TV, like really leaning into people being more fucking selfish and like really like gunning for just themselves and grabbing this thing by the balls and being like, no, bitch, this is mine. My balls.
My balls.
My balls.
My balls. Well, no matter what happened that we cannot discuss, Snake Pit has decided to be little bitches. And they put up Anti-Heroine and Vivi the Force, which objectively, if they hadn't added the twist, would have been in the bottom anyway.
Right. It's true.
The twist was just kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Just a little extra. It was a little flavor.
Yeah.
Just a dash of pepper.
Yeah.
And for their extermination, they are doing what I did first with my good brother Jarvis. And it's a spur of the moment lip sync battle to the hit song punk rock ballad number 6 from Epidemic Sound or something. They didn't even say what the name of the song was. I have no idea. I think it was just like a stock punk rock song.
It really does separate the babies from the big girls, you know, and you're left seeing one girl or one person in particular just fucking performing the shit out of the song, and then Vivi, unfortunately,
I think that it just felt like the competition got to her the second the song started, and she was.
It was almost like
what is this? What is this?
Something was going on, because it felt so disconnected compared to what they did for the holiday horror challenge. I was like, that is so fucking incredible. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. You know, because I feel like, unfortunately, we did not see a lot of great, like, oomph moments from, you know, Vivi a lot.
We all know how stressful and how, like, unique this environment is, and how much it can get to you in ways you don't even realize.
Girl.
It looked to me at some points like Vivi was borderline crying, and I think that was what like hurt me the most watching it, because I remember those feelings. I remember like almost knowing in your heart that like no matter what I do, it's my time to go, and kind of losing that fight.
But you know, but I have to call bullshit sometimes on moments like that, because I'm like, if you're gonna go down with the ship, girl, you need to go out with guns a fucking blazing. You need to leave that last bit of an impression somehow. You need to muster up just even that tiny voice and turn it into a fucking scream, bitch. Yes, I was enjoying Anti-Heroine, but my heart was breaking watching an entertainer on a stage where they should be shining, and she was so slowly losing her luster, like piece by piece. And I was just like, oh, girl. All right, well, that's unfortunate.
Ultimately, Anti-Heroine will live to slay another day.
Yes.
And for season 6, we are losing Vivi the Force.
Yes.
And we've already touched on it.
Yes.
I agree. I think this was her time. And I think Auntie has a very, very humbling kick in the ass after this week. And I have nothing but faith that she is going to rise tenfold and meet that. So it makes me excited to see. I'm like, Anti-Heroine, how are you going to come in next week? Before we move on and close this shit out, I just wanted to make sure that everyone shows love to both Majesty and Vivi. Now that Majesty has officially removed themselves from the competition and Vivi has been exterminated, make sure you follow them, buy their merch, go see their shows, and show them all the love in the world. Because, hey, it's not their time, but they're good people. They're good people. I've never met either of them in my life.
Great entertainers,
but I assume they're good people.
Yes.
Well, that is it for episode 5, and it's official. Dragula the musical is not being renewed. It's not being off-Broadway. It's not off-Broadway. I think Dragula the musical is dead and buried.
Yes.
Who do you think, 5 episodes in, we're halfway through the season, which is crazy. Who is your front runner at this point?
Anti-Heroine. Anti-Heroine. And no hesitation, because I believe that she is exactly what Dragula needs as a winner, in my opinion, because like there's so many different elements to where like, so she's nice and mouthy on camera. She presents herself glamorous, but she knows how to bring filth, horror. The look is immaculate all the time.
Now here's the fun question. with this top 7, which one of them do you think needs to be worried or needs to just step it up a little bit if they want to stay in?
I think Yuri is my focus right now with that. Just in not so much the look department, it's more so the confidence.
Evah Destruction, thank you so much for being here with me. Let the world, the 10,000 maybe viewers, know where they can find you.
Well, I'm across X or Twitter and Instagram at Evah, EVAH, Destruction the way it's spelled. I'm on TikTok-ish, and you can also follow me on YouTube with my performance videos that I post every other month if I upload new shit. But and then I also have merch available at dragqueenmerch.com. But yeah, I'm usually checking the shady comments on Twitter and posting new shit on Instagram. But yeah, if you want to send me a message, I check my Instagram religiously. So
I'm still, even though I was on the show, I still become such a fan for so many of the artists, even after I've met them, and you're one of those. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for being here with Recapitation, where we dig through the ditches, burn through the witches, but don't lose your head, talking about Dragula season 666. We will see you again next week with a brand new episode. The top 7 are here, and more nonsense ensues, and it won't be musical this time. Drive home safe. The internet finally bullied me enough that I've been matching my body to my face. So that's all it takes.
Sometimes bullying works.
Bullying.
Sometimes
that's what they don't tell you.
Sometimes it does.
Bullying works.